Welcome, everybody. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
This is brand new technology right here, so we're going to give it a try.
Bring it a little closer, Jim.
Okay. Well, welcome, and thank you all for coming. This is our groundbreaking for our brand new senior center, and I'm Jim Vieira, and I have the honor of chairing the Council on Aging and the Building Committee for this project. And we do have a few speakers today, but we'll be brief, and then I hope all of you will join us afterwards in Gus Canty for some cider and donuts. So, but first I'd like to introduce Deborah Warner from the Church of the Messiah for our invocation.
Go right to. I'm just going to adjust this. Go right to.
Let us pray. Oh God, you always call us into community where we might share the gifts of wisdom and understanding. Be with those who work on this site, that all may be safe from injury, wise in their workmanship, and patient in their partnerships. May all who benefit from these shared gifts of construction and community building know that they are being held by a town that cares deeply for them, their safety, security, and well-being. In years to come, may we all and all who benefit from these efforts remember that in caring for the least, the lost, and those who are grieved by loss, so we are strengthening our ties one to another, now and for generations that come. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Warner. This has been a long time coming, as you know, but I firmly believe it'll be worth the wait. This is a building that's going to enable the Council on Aging to fulfill its mission now and into the future. And Jill is going to speak with us, our director of the Senior Center, a little bit later about what we do at the Senior Center and what's going to be going on at this meeting. We have a few people here that I'd like to recognize. First of all is our State Senator, Vinnie DiMacedo. Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate it. State reps, Dylan Fernandez and David Vieira wanted to be here, but they send us our congratulations and our best wishes on the project. Most everybody from our building team is here today. Joel Bodgman from BH&A is our architect. Joel's been working with us already for a couple of years. He helped us with our feasibility study, helped us select our site. So he's been with us through the detours and the roundabouts and the highs and the lows. And his team has done a fantastic job, and we couldn't be happier with the building that we're getting from Joel and his team, so we thank you very much. Dan Pilata is our OPM with his company P3. P3 has extensive experience in managing municipal projects. They have a great reputation for bringing projects in on time and on budget, and we're delighted to have them. When we interviewed Dan this fall, he told us that we needed to get this project started this fall. Not everyone thought we could pull that off, but Dan had faith, and it's a little late in the fall, but we made it, and here we are, so that's wonderful.
Still fall.
It's still fall.
A
couple days. Thanks, Dan. The newest member of our team is our general contractor, GVW Inc. And GV Wattendorf is here today. Where's GV? GV's there with his team. They've only been with us a couple of weeks, but they have jumped right in with enthusiasm, and we've already been impressed with their professionalism. And we believe that they are a good partner for the town on this project and have total confidence that they're going to give us a really professional, super building. So thank you, GVW. Another really important part of our team is the Assistant Town Manager, Peter Johnson-Staub. Peter? You know, Peter jumped right in when he came to Falmouth working on this project, and he's been providing us with support and encouragement, and he's really been the conduit from us to the town staff and the town resources. and really has helped to facilitate all of the municipal requirements that we need for a project like this. And I can't really forget our building team, our building committee. Patrick Callahan, who is not here today, Mike Duffany, Peggy Nickerson is here, Chris Simler is here, Dick Bowen is here. You know, we were appointed a little over a year ago in early November, and what really amazing progress has happened in that time frame. This is truly an extraordinary group. The town is fortunate to have them, all industry professionals, and in working with BH&A and Dan Pilata, we really have been able to, what I think is, develop a plan and a building that's going to meet our needs. It fits the site, it looks great, and best of all, it's within our budget. I think that's great work. You know, Jill's been with us, obviously, right from the start, and she's really the reason that I'm involved, because she was the one that drafted me to get this thing going. So also today with us is Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, Susan Moran, and I'm going to turn it over to her for some remarks.
Thank you very much. You know, everyone here is well aware Jim Vieira and many of you in the audience have been here from the beginning, letting the town know how important this project is for now and going forward. And I want to just thank you all for your continued support and your incredible hard work in pushing this to the forefront. So let's give everyone who's been here since the forefront a hand. I also want to note Lori Dorr is here, the superintendent of schools. We have members of planning. We have the Chamber of Commerce. We have engineering. We've got the town management. We've got folks from finance. We've got folks from the administration, recreation. That speaks to how important this project is going forward and the commitment for the entire town and all of the town administration to support and work together and to be sure this is a success going forward. That's just unique in some respects, but in other respects, it's really the way that Falmouth rolls. And I want to recognize there are some members of the Board of Selectmen in the audience. I saw Doug Jones, I saw Sam Patterson, Doug Brown. We are incredibly committed as a board to continue the good success that we had when there was a strong committee that took over in the building of the high school and just did a clawback and got that on track and a success that it is right now. This is sort of a culmination of lessons learned and also the importance that the Board of Selectmen gives to its volunteer committees. We are enriched by the incredible wealth of professionalism, experience, and commitment. This is an all-star building committee that Jim mentioned, and we have every confidence that they are going to kick it up a notch as they have from the beginning with the town administration. Jennifer Petit, Peter Johnson-Staub, Julian Suso, the fact that they have the opportunity to work with this building committee and that Dan Pilata's experience is going to really guarantee an on-time, successful, incredibly beneficial project to Falmouth. So all of us who are here lending our support to that effort, along with everyone in town who we know is here in heart and spirit, we want to thank them for making this the community project and the success that it will be in the future. So thank you very much for coming. It's incredible that you've gotten as far as you have, and we owe it all to you. Thank you. Sorry, I want to introduce the town manager, Julian Suso. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Sue. No, quite all right.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Jim. It's a great pleasure to join you all here today, and a privilege as town manager. And I want to just take a few moments to echo and expand upon the very gracious thank yous already offered. As town manager, I want to thank Board of Selectmen Chair Sue Moran, from whom we just heard, Vice Chair Megan English Braga, Selectmen Doug Jones, Sam Patterson, and Doug Brown, for their vision, their dedication, and their critical support for every fundamental step in this strategic process of planning, financing, and ultimately constructing a new senior center, working at all times in the best interest of Falmouth taxpayers and Falmouth residents. I want to personally extend my thanks and appreciation to Council on Aging Chair Jim Vieira for his consistent ongoing leadership through this many-year process, including in his role as past chairman of the Senior Center Site Selection Committee. How well I remember that, Jim, upon my arrival as town manager. That was about 7 years ago. And of course, the history of this hugely important project goes back well beyond that, as we're all aware. And certainly Jim's current role as chair of the Senior Center Building Committee, several members that we're so delighted can join us here today. Thank you, Jim. I also want to thank Senior Center Director Jill Bishop for her ongoing tireless efforts in planning for and visioning this important multi-year process, and her hands-on guidance and management as we are working through the transition process from existing to future senior centers. There are a lot of nuances there, a lot of complexity, a lot of layers, and it presents some management challenges. And we appreciate Jill's leadership in working with Peter and I and others in taking that on. I also want to echo a comment of thanks to my colleague, Assistant Town Manager Peter Johnson-Staub, to whom I've delegated primary oversight of this important senior center construction process on behalf of the Town Manager's office. Peter has spent long hours and extraordinary commitment, and for that, I know the community is very grateful, Peter. Thank you. I also want to thank Finance Director Jennifer Petit, who's not able to be with us here today because she is attending a mandatory procurement two-day seminar and testing process, which is part and parcel of her maintaining her procurement credentials and her ongoing important role acting on behalf of the town in the procurement process. And I also thank Jennifer for her ongoing commitment of time and professional expertise in guiding and facilitate the town's important financial stewardship of this project. As we know, the residents of the town entrusted us with a debt exclusion that's allowing this construction to go forward. We take that trust, that vote of confidence very seriously and are governed with our actions accordingly. I also want to thank Public Works Director Ray Jack, Deputy Public Works Director Peter McConerty, Town Engineer Jim McLaughlin, Highway Superintendent Jim McGrady, and their colleagues in Public Works for the extraordinary advanced support and assistance in completing a number of mission-critical logistics of this community center complex site. And in particular, I want to single out my colleague Peter McConerty for his untold hours, the commitment of time, creativity, and diligence in delivering things on time and under budget that relate to this site, including where we are standing currently in the police department's beautiful memorial gathering space, in which Chief Dunn has kindly consented to our utilizing for this groundbreaking ceremony. All the logistics of this entire community center complex in which we're standing, including the recent cut-in from the entryway off Main Street, which was planned 30 years ago but never implemented. Our colleagues in Public Works, with the great help of Peter McConerty and others, have made that happen, along with the entire balance of the good circulation and logistics of this site. For that, we're very grateful. Thank you, Peter, and our colleagues there. I want to thank Building Commissioner Rod Palmer for Rod's hands-on assistance with multiple critical details related to this site and planning for building construction. And I want to thank Town Council Frank Duffy for working with us steadfastly through all of these contract and related challenging steps throughout, and that will be continuing, of course. We appreciate that very much. Neither Rod or Tom are able to, neither Rod or Frank are able to join us here today. I want to thank Town Planner Tom Bott, retired Town Planner Brian Curry, and all members of the Falmouth Planning Board for their assistance, guidance, and support through the challenges and nuances of this site planning process. They all played a key, critical role to allow us to get to where we are today as well. And I want to thank our neighbors in this emerging community center complex. That includes, of course, Police Chief Dunn, as I have noted, Recreation Director Joe Olenek, as well as our colleagues involved in leadership with the Falmouth Commodores. This is becoming a very significant community center complex, and we hope in the foreseeable future to have our Human Services Department join us as in the Marks Building, which is another link in this community center development, which has been approved and visioned by the Board of Selectmen from many years ago. And it's very gratifying to find ourselves here today and recognize how that planning, that preparation, the involvement of untold individuals is critical to partnering with us and allowing us to take part in this important day. And finally, a blanket thank you to any and all others. There have been so many that have collaborated with us that I have inadvertently may have overlooked, but we thank everyone for all of their support and guidance, and particularly as well the voters in Falmouth, the residents of Falmouth, for trusting us to be good stewards with the debt exclusion, the tax dollars, to make all this happen. We look forward to that continuing and this further unfolding. Thank you for the opportunity, and I'll hand things back to Jim Vieira. Jim?
Thank you, Julian. Jill is here. He's director of the Senior Center, and I'll turn it over to Jill.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. And if you're a little chilly, just start doing the happy dance, which is what I've been doing today. This is an exciting day for our community, and so I do thank you for taking the time out to share on this special day with us at this groundbreaking ceremony. The journey for a new senior center has been a long one, with initial efforts unsuccessful many years ago. People continued to hope and wish, and at sadly times given up believing they would ever see it happen. I remember when I became director of the senior center, and the first thing many of the seniors would ask me wherever I went in town, when are we getting a new senior center? It happened often. My response was always, it's going to happen. It will happen. And I said nothing differently anytime I was asked. What was difficult for some to understand was that there was a process, and that the process and careful planning takes time. This project went through a rigorous process and years of planning and working together that led us to where we are today. So thank you to all of you who have supported the mission of the Senior Center in serving our seniors throughout the years. The Council on Aging board members, the Friends of the Falmouth Senior Center fundraising organization, town departments, town boards, senior center staff, local organizations, and our dedicated volunteers. And thank you to the Falmouth community for approving this project. Throughout the planning and design process, town staff has worked closely with our architect, Joel Bergman, and his associates. Our owner's project manager, Dan Plotter, our P3 project planning professionals, and our senior center building committee. And we will continue to work as a team through this process for a successful completion of this project alongside our general contractor, GVW Incorporated. Our vision for this project is to build a facility that meets the current and future services and program needs of 3 generations of seniors, and to create an environment that will engage and support the healthy aging goals of Falmouth's growing senior population. This is not just a building. To many, it's a home away from home. And I personally like to think of it as the special gem of Falmouth that provides vital services and resources to our community. It is with great pleasure to announce to our seniors this past week of this groundbreaking ceremony. And I see their faces light up with gratitude that this is really happening. So on behalf of the seniors, thank you. We are all very excited to look forward to the opening of our beautiful new home this time next year. So thank you, and keep doing the happy dance.
Thanks, Jill. Jack and the Beanstalk has generously donated cider and donuts in the rec building. We have the plans set up so that you can take a look at the plans, and some of us will be over there shortly to answer questions. And that's really the end of our ceremony. We're going to don our hard hats over there and shovels and have some pictures taken. But I just, on behalf of the town of Falmouth and the Council on Aging and the Building Committee, I want to thank you all for attending. This is really a great day for the future seniors of Falmouth.
I was wondering where the last